Welcome to Four Corners. I'm Kerry O'Brien, and no, there hasn't been a coup. I'm just standing in for Andrew Olley, who's had the cheek to steal a brief holiday. Tonight we're coming to you from Canberra with a political special, what we can expect from the third Hawke government and the second Howard opposition, or maybe Peacock opposition. Also, how we survived the ritual of election day.
It's a bit of a game of cat and mouse, really. It's to show we're better organised than they are. We traditionally get up earlier, get all our booths done.
It's better now, isn't it? No, it's worse.
You know, this is our country. This is where we're going. If we're not going to work for it and do something about it, who is?
The Liberal Party, vote for the Liberal Party, please.
Yes, that's all.
The one for Jeanette. Make sure we put her in.
But first, the man who will have the biggest impact on our lives over the next 3 years. The man who will either succeed in setting up a healthy economy with a fresh direction into the 21st century, or who may preside over our decline into third world status. Paul Keating has been the architect of dramatic economic reform in the past 4 years, and the man most credited for having achieved something considered politically impossible in Australia, persuading a notoriously pragmatic electorate to vote for a party that presided over a stark decline in living standards, and whose pre-election mini-budget turned political wisdom upside down. Now 43, he's waiting in the wings to become Australia's next Labor Prime Minister. Mr Keating, Bob Hawke has said that he'll be here for another 3 years at least. Are you happy to wait?
Oh yes, when Bob is good and ready to go, those of us who fancy ourselves as his successor then get an opportunity to propose ourselves to the government, to the caucus. But that's a matter for our party, and it'll all occur in its time.
And are you happy to stay Treasurer for the next 3 years?
I am. You may think that that is an onerous responsibility, but it is. But I like this job. I want to see the changes that we have put into place, cemented into place. I want to see the current account turn around, inflation come down, and the changes on the macroeconomy settle right in, and the tax system. So that'll take some time, and I can best do that in this job.
Did you see what Robert Ray had to say about you, a Labor colleague? That if you want to be Prime Minister, you'll have to get out of Treasury and find another portfolio, presumably one where you can be a little more popular.
Well, I think we turned all that sort of political hustler stuff on its head on the weekend, because by telling the truth to Australians and trying to educate their view to the need to make fundamental changes, they took the box instead of the money. I mean, they knocked back the money and took the quality product, and that is the long-term changes. So maybe around the branches in Victoria or New South Wales, they may now say there is some value in taking people on the high road, and that Australian public life can now run on the high road and not move with the automatic presumption that we've got to travel the low road to win elections in this country.
Well, Robert Ray also says that you should throw away your suits and get into something a little more comfortable.
Well, I wouldn't get into one of his shirts because it would look as though I'm putting on a tent.
What are you going to do about your travel allowance?
Well, nothing. I mean, this is just part of Mr Howard's lousy part of the campaign, that's all. I mean, I'm in the same position as every other minister who has ever been in Canberra, which he knew, but he thought that when he took the low road himself economically, he chose the very low road of going down the sort of the line of personal smears. I mean, it's one of the interesting things.
Without going too far down the track now over that sort of past history, it's certainly, on the face of it, it has the appearance of a bit of a rort. You have your residence listed as being in Sydney, but you're living in Canberra.
Yeah, but I mean, that's how
you're
it's always
claiming
been.
for living in
And
Canberra.
It's paid to defray the costs of living in a house that you wouldn't otherwise live in if you were not needing to live here. And I've got one house in the whole of this country, and it's in Sydney, and I have to keep that cost and the upkeep of that, and I would therefore have to house, if I was not paid a travelling allowance, I have to house myself in Canberra. Now, that's the position of Mr Hunt, Mr Sinclair, every other coalition minister before me. But what makes me a bit unusual is there are very few Labor ministers who live here, and Mr Howard thought to take the opportunist path, he would try and make an example of me, even though he had Mr Sinclair and Mr Howard sitting beside him, Mr Hunt sitting beside him, who both live in Canberra this very minute, and have always done.
Do you think it hurts you politically?
Well, we've won the election, Kerry. I mean, who's hurt? The
You've,
person who's hurt is the man who did take the low road, Mr. Howard.
You've increased your parliamentary majority, but you personally suffered a 6% swing. Now, what message do you think that your constituents were delivering to you?
Well, I had 8 candidates against me, and the swing against me was, in fact, lower than some of the swings around me in Western Sydney. So if you discount the fact that candidates will always take something from you, that's more candidates, they'll always get some of the vote each, that I picked no more, no less of the swing, which was away from Labor in some of the traditional areas, but to Labor in the marginal areas.
Well, let's say that it wasn't a personal message to you, Paul Keating, and given that there was a large swing in Prospect, I think, for example, it was something like a 10% swing away from Labor. What was that message?
Well, I think people in our traditional areas failed to comprehend the need to make the economic changes. They didn't understand the linkage between...
Do you think that it was also a fact that they perhaps were hurting more?
Oh, it could be. Yes, I think that's a possibility. But they perhaps have not comprehended the message between the need for, a loss of our national income via the current account to what that means to domestic living standards. But in communicating that message, the government in the election got a better spread of votes. We got lower majorities in the safe seats, but better votes in the marginal seats, and in fact more parliamentary seats for a smaller national vote.
You don't think that some of them were saying to you that they felt you were drifting from your traditional base, that traditional Labor voters are being left behind?
No, I don't think so. I mean, the 800,000 jobs we put on the ground, Medicare, which covers everybody, regardless of income, the higher retention rates in schools, full indexation of pensions plus 8% real increase. This government's got a very proud record as a traditional Labor government in the traditional areas. But, I've often said to people, if I can't, from my point of view, if I can't do well for them in New York and London and Tokyo, I can't help them in Bankstown. And that's true. That's a fact. I cannot help them in Bankstown, Blaxland, Parramatta or wherever if this government isn't credible around the world. In other words, if the world wants to charge us usury rates of interest because they don't comprehend our policies, the people who will suffer will be our people.
It's not hard to argue that without the Joe factor, that is the splitting of the coalition and all that went with it, or the Peacock factor, which was the sacking of Peacock, that you would have lost this election. In other words, that you've won by default. No,
I think that's absolutely... I think there's a lot of rewriting of history going on today. The government won this election. The adage is governments lose elections, and it's always been true. Well, this government didn't. It won the election by rewriting the agenda quickly. It won this election by putting down the 1986-7 budget. It won it by moving to the two-tier wage system, and it won it by the May statement. In short, it won it by decisive policy action to stabilise the exchange rate, bring down the current account, inflation and interest rates. And the public believed, having educated the public to the changes, we brought them along and we forced the Liberals to try and cost a package so that they were meeting the same responsibility as us. We forced the mistakes on them, and that's why we won the election. They run a lax, bad campaign in my view, riddled with mistakes, and the essential judgments were judgments by Mr. Howard about the timing of his package, the size of his package, its generosity and its spending cuts. And he has no one to blame but himself for the loss. It's not Joe. Joe came out of the woodwork at the end of 1986. I mean, he's been quiet all these years.
He certainly helped. I mean, you can't ignore the extent to which he helped.
But why did he come out? He came out because he said to Howard, he said, if you can't beat this crowd in the middle of a terms of trade crisis and a currency collapse, you'll never beat them. So in a sense, the government made its own luck by its steadfast policy action last year. It made its own good fortune. And it is, I mean, why was Joe quiet all through 86 but not 87? Because he knew that Howard was weak and that with a weak leader running the Conservative parties, they wouldn't win. Whenever they've had strong leaders, with Menzies and with Fraser, they've won. When they've had weak leaders, they've lost. He judged Howard was weak, he was right, and they've lost again.
Well, then presumably you'd be happy for John Howard to stay as leader of the Liberal Party, because certainly in the run-up to this election, there were a lot of people in Labor who were worried about the prospect of a Peacock-led opposition.
Look, I think Mr. Howard's debased the political currency by choosing. I mean, I think he ran on the most disreputable and irresponsible financial policy of any leader in this country in the last 20 years, and he deserved the loss that he's taken. Look, let me quote from the Sydney Morning Herald. It's worth a quote from Max Walsh. He said, this is of Howard. He has demonstrated that irresponsibility can bring political rewards. It says a great deal about the abysmal state of our political morality that Mr Howard's leadership will be challenged on the grounds that he lost the election, not that he committed the once principal Liberal Party to unrealistic, indeed vandalistic policies. And from Mr Gittins, who said this, the one man who could have benefited from the public's distrust of politicians chose to urinate his credibility against a wall. Now, the fact is, yes, but by two people who were supporters of Howard's, who believed he had a serious, credible agenda. He let them down, he let all the thinking people in the gallery down, he let the people in the public service who trusted him down, he's let everybody who believed he had a serious agenda to put in place of Mr Peacock.
So would you be happy to have Mr Peacock for the next 3 years? As your opponent?
I'm happy to have the Labor Party in government. But the fact of the matter is...
Well, which of the two would you fear most, Howard or Peacock?
Well, I think Howard's an eminently beatable commodity. But as far as Peacock's concerned, I mean, let me put the rhetorical question, can a souffle rise twice? I mean, can he...
I'll leave the rhetorical floating in here.
Can he get up?
Now that the election's over, what's the bad news on the economy?
Well, I think what we're going to see in the economy is actually some substantial good news. We're going to see inflation continuing to abate, with it interest rates, the current account deficit coming down, the maintenance, nevertheless, of rigour on the policy front.
Now, what does that mean?
Well,
I mean, in terms that affect people out there.
Well, it means maintaining the kind of strength on fiscal policy we have maintained, making certain the wage system works well.
Any surprises in the budget?
No, I don't think so.
No further big cuts?
We'll bring the budget in well, and the budget will be entirely appropriate for this year. And that will mean that we will see the current account abate further, we will see inflation track back. And in short, we'll start to see the delivery end of a lot of the restraint which we've asked of people over the last couple of years.
And wages. There was a certain amount of indecision between yourself and the Prime Minister, or difference between yourself and the Prime Minister at one point during the campaign about precisely what the government's approach would be on wages policy.
Well, I don't think there was any difference, but what we were saying was that wages in 1986-7 would probably run at about the same growth rate as the inflation rate, because the wage cuts were behind us. We had substantial falls in real wages all through the last 12 months.
That's right.
At the moment, they're now running at about the inflation rate.
And you acknowledge that you can't go to the unions and ask them to take further wage cuts? Real wage cuts?
No, we're saying that we need in this country to maintain competitiveness, and what we're saying is we would only forecast it a year out while the current wage system's in place. But whatever is required beyond then, we will be putting to the unions.
What about deregulation of the labour market?
Well, I think in the coming 3 years, the microeconomy will come in for as much focus as the macroeconomy. Having dealt with many of the macro issues, the big issues, in the past 3 years, we will go to those issues, and developing a cooperative structure with the trade unions through the Accord, working towards industry unions, I think could be one of those areas. So
ideally, how many unions? In the broad, I mean, you're talking about a reduction from 300 to 30 or 40.
I mean, I couldn't be specific as to that, Kerry, but certainly reductions, but congruous ones, sensible ones. Mm. I think the other area which is worthy of a lot of attention is training and retraining. I think there's a great need in the workforce to better equip the labour market with skills, and particularly also in the school-to-work transition in terms of training. And also, I think the other area would be continuing reductions in protection. I think we need to do more there. I think we need to expose this economy to international pressures to get the best from it. And by focusing on those micro issues, as well as the big picture, the big macro issues of the economy, wages, the budget, all of that, complementing it, I think we'll make a lot of progress in the next couple of years.
A couple of points very quickly. Are we going to see a new super ministry for Paul Keating?
No, I'll have, I think, what I've got now.
No expansion at all?
Well, maybe.
In what areas?
Maybe at the edges, but but not a superstructure.
Well, what do you mean at the edges? What about wages policy?
No, well, Mr. Willis and I have always cooperated on that, but responsibility for wages policy will formally, as now, remain with him.
We're out of time. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Kerry.
Well, all of that, of course, is gazing into the crystal ball, although Paul Keating is in a better position than most to look into the future. He is, after all, calling the play. Now for a flashback and a slice of politics that's always taken for granted and rarely comes under the microscope. I'm talking about the thousands of Australians who turn out on election day, rain or shine, to man the polling booths, hand out the pamphlets and help get their party over the line. For them, Saturday was the penultimate moment when their ideas were on sale to the public. The seat of Phillip in Sydney's eastern suburbs boasts not only the famous Randwick racecourse, but also the mecca of international tourists, Bondi Beach. But apart from that fame, Phillip has a special quality. It has the highest proportion of rental to owned housing of any seat in Australia. The result is a swinging seat in which thousands of electors who were there last election fail to materialise on the rolls next time round. They've moved on. The result is perpetual hard-fought appeals for every precious vote. In this seat that has become a litmus test for government, Peter Couchman spent Saturday watching the campaign workers and candidates slog it out.
It's race day at Randwick Racecourse, and it's election day. They take their racing seriously around Randwick, and it was no different on Saturday. The race for the electorate of Phillip was fought in deadly earnest, and both sides fielded an army of supporters for the day. The Liberals and Labor between them turned out 600 people.
Harvey's looking after himself.
Oh, yes, that's it.
Good morning, everybody. Had a good night's sleep? Everybody confident? Aren't we lucky it's not raining? Oh, we'd be just devastated if it started raining. These are our how to vote stickers, our how to vote pamphlets. Oh, isn't that great?
I'll just put some staples in here. It's going to be very windy today. I can't believe anybody would vote. He's had 3 goes. Now he's still telling lies about the economy. He was with Fraser and Stone, and he sent the country broke. Told us he had $3 billion blowout. Finished up blowing out to $9 billion after the election. Now he's going to do exactly the same thing. His policy hasn't changed.
Dee, hello, darling baby. Oh, he's a good little dog. Oh, he's Mummy's little boy. Come and we'll put your streamers on for Ray today and for John today. And you run around Bondi. Yep.
So how are you feeling about today?
Oh, very excited, very optimistic. It's going to be Dee, sit down, be a good dog. Just absolutely wonderful.
How do you think it'll go?
Oh, we'll win. Absolutely. No doubt about it. We've got to.
Why? Why is it so important?
Because if we don't, we'll finish up a socialist country, and I don't want that. I don't want my children to have that, or my grandchildren. This is a free country, and that's the way it's got to stay. Absolutely. Besides that, I work too hard and pay too much tax.
What will you do if the Liberals win?
What will I do? Cry tears of blood.
You want one on this side,
unfortunately, because if the Liberals win, we will finish up like Argentina. There'll be a great pool of poor, there'll be a few middle class, and 1% rich will own the country.
But in an electorate like Phillip, dominated by Bondi Beach and that great sweep of coast that takes in the eastern suburbs of Sydney, Argentina seems a long way off. Even in winter, this is picture postcard Australia. The electorate is the smallest in the country. 17 square kilometres of people packed into flats and apartments. It's a place where prices have gone berserk. As a real estate bet, it's a certainty. Politically, it's not nearly so secure.
You know, I started making up a speech at 10:30 last night.
Well, listen, we got...
I couldn't believe it.
Mate, we've got a good omen today.
What's that?
It's Gough Whitlam's birthday.
Well, I don't know whether that's a good omen.
And it's the day that John Kerr was appointed.
Oh,
How about that?
we're in.
Yeah. Well, listen, we'll kick off here, I think.
Yeah.
We'll go up there and...
The man on the Liberals ticket on Saturday was Ray Collins, a solicitor. His links with the notorious right-wing faction in the local Waverley Council have made him a controversial figure in the electorate. He served one term as the Waverley mayor. But he's grown up with Conservative politics, and he's worked every election campaign in Phillip since he was a boy.
You right, Kathy?
Yep. Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
You can hop in with me. All right, away we go. Bye-bye. See you during the day.
Bye. Bye-bye. See you at the victory party. Bye.
Well, that's the big event of the day, his 25th birthday. I said I'd probably forget his birthday. They fancy forgetting his son's 25th birthday. I didn't forget.
And this is what Ray Collins has been up against. Jeanette McHugh was the only Labor member to win an increased majority at the last election. She won the seat of Phillip in 1983.
A lovely spot. Now, where's my father?
He's down there,
Is he? Oh, is he? I'll go and see him. Do you think I'd better go and vote first? Or, all right, I've got time to vote now, Ernie? Right, I'll see you shortly. You're not going to give me a how to vote? Thank you very much. Thank you.
That's fine, that'll go like that.
Thank you.
She's on the left of the Labor Party, and that makes her a lonely figure in New South Wales. Ray Collins has been running an energetic campaign against her. Saturday was the big day.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
You're all right.
You all right? That happened to me once. That happened to me very recently, yeah.
Careful, Ray. Careful. I don't want you to run over
Lily.
today.
You can be
Okay,
sure.
Huh?
you didn't know, Peter.
You
right?
are our representative.
Yeah.
Be sure that. Good, darling. I was
Thank you very much.
voting.
Oh, already?
Here I am here.
Yeah.
I am not working.
Oh, no. Yeah, but you
I
look
worked
terrific.
enough.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Good
Lily.
luck.
How are you, Fred? What's the story, mate?
Fred Brinkman won
You
the,
can turn around and wave and give me one at the
the other
camera.
candidate.
You know why?
No?
You will win.
Yeah.
Mistake you ever seen.
Why?
I should have put you last.
I got a bugger you.
I made a mistake.
Oh, rubbish. You did it right, mate. I got to go. See you later, Fred. Bye-bye, Lily. Sorry, that lady,
Yeah.
Lily had worked so hard for us sitting at that booth over in Belmore Road.
She was there the whole week.
Well, one week. She was there for 3 weeks.
There's a certain futility in this hectic local effort. The issues and trends have already been decided by the party machines and the national newspapers and television.
You've got to keep Jeanette in. That's the main thing.
Give Tree standing in this election.
Yet election day does have a life of its own.
How are you, Fred?
Good luck. It's going great. Marvellous. Oh, I'm
Everywhere's
so
the same.
excited.
It's
It is.
terrific.
It's great.
Tony, thanks, mate.
We're there. Kathy, we're there.
I thought you looked well. Thank you very much.
He's a lovely man. Wants to see you on Wednesday.
Hello. Oh, whenever I've got afterwards.
Raymond brings you up.
All right. You reckon?
You'll be there.
Yeah.
It's a carnival of ordinary people, of old party loyalties, and good old-fashioned snake oil salesmanship.
Thanks. How's it going, Phil?
Very good, mate.
Thanks for giving up your golf.
We'll play next week, won't we?
Okay. You got a photo of the dog?
Yeah.
The Liberal Party.
The fuses are there, but
Yeah.
put that there, you know.
Yeah.
I got licked
But you got it right in the end.
No, I got a new one.
Good.
I asked for another one.
Right. You got this one okay? I've got to say hello to Bill. I've got to be off. We've got every booth in the election to get to.
This young lady is
Yeah.
only 94.
How are you? Ray Collins, nice to meet you.
How do you do,
Right.
Judy?
Yeah, you're going in to have a go, huh?
94 and plenty of cheek, but
That's right.
bloody effort to come up here,
Well,
I'm telling you.
But it's long as someone helps you in and make sure you vote properly.
Apparently we're blocking the entrance here. It's part of the electoral rules is you can't block the entrance.
Next week. Promise? That's a promise. Okay. I'm going to go every booth in the election. See you, Bill.
Ta-ra, love.
See you, everyone.
Our party tonight will be a victory party, and thank goodness we'll be back on the road to recovery. Hooray! Okay, we're on our way to South Coogee.
Vote for the forest. Save our homes, ladies and gentlemen.
Save these animals' homes. These animals have come down all the way from northern Queensland.
Forced to live in Bondi.
Forced to live in Bondi, yes.
Without the trees.
In this, the year of protection for the home.
They won't let me vote.
But for a lot of the punters in Phillip on Saturday, there was only one race that really mattered, and that was at Randwick. There were no bets on the outcome of the election here. They were more interested in the form guide than the fate of the nation. Elections are a ritual that come and go.
That's one down the outside now, putting it around for social time. Over the rise with about 300 metres to go. One on the track, social time. Just next one is Tropical Trip sitting through.
Excuse me, I just wanted to ask you about the election.
No, what about it?
How have you felt about it all?
Oh, oh, just like any other election.
I mean, have you felt it's important, or is it, I mean, how have you reacted to the whole thing, the campaign? And...
More or less, you know. But you're
Don't care much?
No.
Excuse me, I just wanted to ask you about the election.
I don't know anything about the election. Thought everyone knows.
Don't follow it?
No, I don't follow the election.
Excuse me?
Yes.
I just wanted to ask you about the election. Have you followed it?
Yeah.
How have you reacted to it all?
There's really no party here you can vote for. Nobody's any good. The Labour aren't any good, the Liberals aren't any good. I don't know who we really should vote for.
Oh, I don't know a lot about it, really. Ask someone else.
The election asked me about our Lachlan Club winning the last race.
Excuse me? I wanted to ask you about the election.
Yes. Oh, what about it?
Have you been following it?
No, I'm visiting here. We're from Tasmania, so okay.
Don't leave any mess. We're very clean people. All right. Okay. All right. Yep. You're right, Lisa. Do you need a hand? It's been a great day. This way. We'll put them in the back of the boot, in the back of the truck. All right. Any more?
Here's another one.
All right. We'll put that one in. Right. Okay, is that the lot? Got any more?
10 hours later, it's almost over. The people have spoken. Or at least some of them have.
Well done, Ray.
It is now 6 o'clock and this booth is now closed. Thank you.
Now it's all in the figures. It's a matter of counting and waiting.
I'll never forget in 1980 when we thought we'd done very well all day and we went to Peter's Corner in the afternoon and there seemed to be only a swarm of lids in the late afternoon.
Just hold on. What do you want a copy, Mike? No, it's only. Just wait. Bus Depot, Denga Street, number 28.
That's my third.
What? 585? Yep. Yeah, how many of those did we get? Yep. Yep, how many of those we get? Yep. 491. 1169, all right. We're running about a line ball on last figures. Okay, good on you. Thanks, Paul. It was Mark Andrews.
Dangar Street.
169. Does not be confused by he's actually added your 1% on for the donkey vote on this view.
Have they done Phillip at all on that?
That's an extreme one. I've been on 3 to 4% of the vote. Probably doesn't mean too much.
Oh my God. The tensions of... I was good all day. I mean, I figured I was cool and calm all day, but this is a bit hard.
So what are you feeling like now?
Oh, just absolutely hopeless. You just wait for the phones to ring and hope it's good news or bad news, as long as it gets something. Get it over and done with, frankly. I'd like to get down to the party myself.
So what does it feel like at the moment?
Well, I just feel terribly tense. I've never felt this way through the whole campaign. I've been excited, but never tense.
Well, I see I'm totally in the hands of these two fellas. How long before we really know?
You know that.
Oh, I've been up at 3
Go out in the middle of Anzac Road and say, I've won. Come on. Come on. TV.
Turn on our video, I'd say I've won. Ernie, when you say be 3/4 an hour, what do you mean to be certain?
Yeah, when we get the
Well, we're just going to wait for them to ring in, that's all. It takes time.
Yeah, you've got to get about 37,000 votes.
And, you know, all the...
we've got about 10,000 over.
The poll clerks are not all equally efficient.
Yeah. True.
So you've got to wait till...
we don't get...
Oh, we won. We won Bondi Beach.
Hooray!
I beg your pardon?
We won Bondi Beach.
Oh, magic.
Terrific.
Well, that's a
You're
bit exciting.
kidding? That's a bit exciting.
Where's the paper?
4,500 votes.
We need
It's
now
more.
Wellington Street.
It's 5,000 votes.
Depends how much we want it by, but if we can get close in Wellington Street, we're going to give Mrs. McHugh one hell of a shock.
Okay. Out of 54 Sawada, we've got 22. And out of Rigman 6, we've got 2.
The Bondi Beach is a 1.5% swing. 1.4 swing against you. The Democrats pick up through.
All right. So, not able to tally at Bondi Beach, so that the figures may be wrong.
Well, we'll take whatever figures they've got.
Okay, can you hold there, Sally?
327 informants. That's going to make thousands of informants.
Can't be helped.
Here we are.
27,
Here, Bondi Beach is
44,
here.
and that's just a preliminary figure.
1984.
Okay. Thanks very
We
much.
needed to win that.
Bye.
We needed to win that.
That's only preliminary figures.
Oh, yeah, but preliminary figures are going to be 1 or 2 out, can't they? Maybe 20 out. I think that's the end.
Look, the main thing is you're getting 50% and the other peanuts getting 42%.
And you're getting more than half the preferences. So he can't close the gap.
66% of the preferences. Done like a dinner, Jeanette.
He can't close the gap.
The first Labor member for Phillip to win 3 elections in 40 years.
Well, that's what the PM's saying all over the country.
Oh, formal, of course. I'm sorry, plus 130 is, yeah, that's correct.
So how's it looking at the moment?
As it looking, it's gone to preferences, so we probably won't know for a few days.
But the postal and absentee are going to be critical.
Yeah.
Last time there was 8,000, this time being school holidays. Got to be 12,000. If 75% of them go our way, we can still win.
So how do you feel at the moment?
Very confident. Postal vote traditionally has always favoured the Liberal Party, so we'll have to wait and see for a few days yet.
What's it like sitting here waiting, though, seeing each figure?
I have the worst butterflies in my stomach that I have ever had. It's great. I love it. It's pumping.
Bloody awful, actually.
No, it's good.
Postal votes and absentees are traditionally Jewish votes, and I would hope and Liberal. And if we can pick up well, it has to, I mean, it's a long shot, but if it's a substantial amount of it, well, then we're in with a great chance. But let me say, I'd rather be on 49% than on 43%.
I would vastly prefer to be me at this stage of the game than Ray at this stage of the game, because I'll never forget in 1980, as you see booth after booth with you behind, you get this sick feeling in your stomach.
I'm shattered at this stage.
Say that. You don't say that.
I know.
Just on the chair for the moment.
Oh, just on the chair for the moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends and supporters, it's my very pleasant task to tell you that Jeanette has 26,315 votes tonight, compared to Mr. Collins' 22,812.
He wasn't the only one that got up at dawn. It's just that we hear more about Bill Gates. We've got probably the best Labor branch members in Australia. Thanks to every single one of you. I'm pretty sure that Collins isn't making quite the same speech.
You've had a terrible wait, I know, and it's only been as long as I've been so excited about it, but we're within about 20 votes of winning. It's as close as that. I'm not going to give you the statistics, because all I know is that McHugh's coming down and we're going up. And
You're building.
My God, we've won, Phillip, I'm sure of it, and it's all because of all the hard work which you've done, and thank you very much. Are you happy, Ali? He's there somewhere. Right? We're all on this television. Yeah, he's there.
Oh, George! You'll be there, George. Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. Now, let's thank George by buying a few more drinks.
I feel, I guess, still a little bit uneasy about Ray Collins in Phillip because that's what we were working for. For the country as a whole, I'm worried to my stomach.
I feel very strong about it. It's a very sad day.
Why do you feel so sad about it?
Because Australia will go to pieces. We will be in prison because we will get the Australia card and everything will be like in Hungary. It's terrible.
So how are you feeling?
Elated but very, very unhappy for me.
Why?
She's a wonderful lady.
I don't know whether I'll get married and have a family now. Maybe in 3 years' time. Next election I might think about it.
Why?
Because the country's down the gurgler.
Yeah.
That's why.
You feel that badly about it, do you?
Yeah.
We all do.
We all
I'm
do, I
crossed to
think,
that
Peter.
we can come up with the goods here and yet other people can't elsewhere.
Don't worry, we've won Phillip anyway, Eva.
I hope so. I hope so, darling. I worked so hard for you.
Don't worry.
I hope so.
You can't do too much of a mess in 3 years.
No,
Eva.
we can't.
Come on. All right, let's go and tell John Howard we won Phillip. Huh?
I would like to congratulate the Prime Minister and his government. I would like to wish his government well in the very important responsibility of governing our country.
I just wanted to say we're going to win Phillip for you.
Great to hear it.
We're going to just scrape in, but
Thanks for your help.
Kathy.
Thanks for your help. Terrific. I'm sure you will.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks.
John Howard won't be agonising over the final result in Phillip. It won't change his destiny. Ray Collins still doesn't know if he's won or lost the seat. Neither does Jeanette McHugh. But she is 3,000 votes ahead. 12,000 postal votes will decide the outcome of the election.
You can't keep a good man down, although after today's counting it seems Ray Collins has lost the battle for Phillip. Hope springs eternal in every political breast. And believe it or not, hope is blooming even amongst the ashes of the Liberal defeat 48 hours ago. The wets of the party are hoping for a return to significant power on their front bench. The dries are hoping to keep control of the policy direction towards economic rationalism. In such a potentially divisive time, the buzzword within the party is unity, perhaps at the expense of someone else. In the studio tonight, two prominent parliamentary Liberals from different ends of the party spectrum. Robert Hill, Senator and Party President from South Australia, is a Peacock supporter who was demoted by the Howard forces on his own state Senate ticket. And Fred Chaney, former Fraser government minister, Howard frontbencher, and as of yesterday, a possible contender to displace Neil Brown as deputy leader of the party. Senator Chaney, in the first place, if we could just clarify your position, have you moved any closer to deciding that you are definitely going to contest the deputy leadership?
No, I've decided firmly that I'll contest the Senate leadership. I've decided firmly I won't be contesting the party leadership, but I'll make up my mind the next day or so about whether I'll contest the deputy leadership. Whether or not I do so will depend on my assessment as to whether that's going to be a contributing factor to promoting a more united party or a destructive factor, and I'll make the decision on that basis.
But what are the elements that are in your mind right now?
Well, I think it's simply a matter of whether that's going to be a positive thing for the party, and one's own judgment of that may be flawed. I think you've always got to be particularly careful about making political judgments where your own interest appears to be involved, and that's why I'm being a little cautious on it. My inclination is to run. My own view is that it would be good for the party, but I'll take a few more soundings on that.
So it's more likely than not?
I think it's more likely, yes.
You've spoken with John Howard, obviously. Has he encouraged you?
I've spoken with John Howard, and he's been quite positive, but there's no question of it being his decision or anything like that. My own view is that it's likely there'll be a significant number of people nominate for the deputy leadership. That's been the case in the past. I think it needs to be remembered that all positions are vacant post-election, and it's an opportunity for anyone who feels that they could contribute in that way to nominate. And my own tip would be that there'll be quite a number of people who will stand in the party room with respect to the deputy leadership.
To what extent will it be a hindrance to you that you're in the Senate with no definite prospect of coming down to the lower house?
Oh, I think some people will see that as a relevant factor, but others, I think, would agree that there's no reason why a senator should be excluded from the position of deputy leadership. I don't think it's happened before, although at least one, I think a couple of senators have run for the position. But I don't think that the House is a critical factor.
Well, it might be a little odd in one sense at least if you end up with the deputy leader in the Senate plus a separate Senate leader. Well, I assume you wouldn't do both.
Well, no, I think at this stage I would expect to seek both positions. I don't think there's anything peculiar about that. I don't think the two are incompatible. But again, that's a matter on which my colleagues will have a view, and I'd stress the fundamental decisions in this are not made by me, they're made by my parliamentary colleagues. And the really key thing for the Liberal Party, in my view, is that whoever runs for these positions, and there ought to be contests, in my view, I think that's a very healthy thing. The really key thing for the future of the Liberal Party is that we all accept the outcome and work together from that point. The point's been made often enough that a lack of total unity in the party cost us in this last election, and I have no wish to spend the next 3 years in opposition suffering from the same disadvantage. And so, as far as I'm concerned, that's the priority, is to get a really united party post this contest.
Well, of course, that's the big question on everybody's lips. Now, who is the best person with the prospect of healing and uniting?
Well, again, I think judgments on that will differ. I mean, we've had...
well, what's your judgment?
Well, my personal judgment is that John Howard should continue. But my very clear personal position is that I will, as in the past, work for whoever is elected. I didn't vote. It was known to Andrew. It was known to my colleagues. I didn't vote for him originally. I saw it as my absolute and complete duty to work for him and behind him until he stood down from the leadership. And as far as I'm concerned, the same rule applies when John Howard becomes leader. And indeed, whoever is elected at the end of the week or early next week, whenever the election can be held, I think that person is entitled to expect the full-hearted effort of all of his colleagues or her colleagues.
Well, with respect, I don't think you've properly answered the question, which I'll now address to Robert Hill.
Well,
Senator,
hang on. In what sense?
Well, in the sense that you can then come back on, but in the sense that I'm asking who is the best person to unite and heal.
You're asking me?
Yes, I am.
Well, I think that's something that the parliamentary party has got to make a decision on, and that decision, the question of a united front, which is what we want a strong and united party, is going to be one of the qualities and one of the factors that parliamentarians are going to have to consider in that decision-making process. Unity is one thing. They're also going to have to consider questions of direction of the party, its total policy direction. Remember, we're looking in the longer term. We're now regrettably back in opposition for another 3 years. It's a question that shouldn't be answered hastily. We've got to make the right decision. And I would expect there'll be a number of candidates stand for leader, and probably a number of candidates for all of the four positions that have to be decided. Well, it's a very important time for the Liberal Party.
Well, Senator Hill, it seems to me that there is some slight contradiction in two things relating to John Howard. One, he talks about a united party. Two, he talks about a party that needs to reflect the breadth of its base. And yet 3 months ago, he sacked Andrew Peacock, he sacked Ian McPhee, he forced the resignation of Peter Boehm. Now, is the man who did that just a short time ago capable of now doing a somersault, in a sense, uniting and healing the party?
Well, I think that we all get judged to some extent on our record, and John's choice of a shadow ministry in the past will certainly be a factor that parliamentarians will take into account.
Well, do you personally
I think that we'll be principally looking to the future, though.
But do you personally have the confidence that John Howard can do that he can reflect the broad base of the Liberal Party now where he didn't 3 months ago?
Well, what I'm prepared to say is that let's presume that both Andrew Peacock and John Howard are standing. It'll then be a difficult decision for the parliamentary party, because in the 1984 election, Andrew Peacock led the party well and received great credit. In this last election, I believe John Howard has earned credit also for a very determined effort. The whole factors, the capacities of these two men and perhaps others to lead the party to a victory have got to be taken into account. It's no good remaining in opposition. We're in this business to win, and our supporters, our friends and those behind the party want us to win. We as a parliamentary party have a very important decision to make in the next week or two.
But very briefly, to come back to that case in point, the question of John Howard's capacity to heal, Andrew Peacock's capacity to heal. Do you believe that John Howard, on the one hand, who says that he believes his policies were right going into this election, at the same time says that he wants to see a party that's broadly reflected? Now, do the policies of the moment reflect the breadth of feeling and principle within the Liberal Party?
I think the policies are going to have to be re-examined. This is one of the few advantages of time. We've got to, if I look at the McNair-Anderson exit polls, they tell us that the principal factors upon which voters determined their vote were 1, leadership, 2, economic management, and 3, taxation. We, of course, put taxation very high in this campaign. Perhaps we should have had a greater emphasis upon the total question of the economy and how you turn this country around from the disastrous economic state that it's currently in. There's a whole range of factors that are going to have to be taken into account, and parliamentarians will do that in the next couple of weeks.
Senator Chaney, would you like to see, and do you believe, that both Andrew Peacock and Ian McPhee would be asked to serve in a Howard shadow ministry?
Well, I don't want to get into the business of personalities, and in the end, whoever is elected leader will make the selection. But I've made the point that I think two of the critical people for the future of the Liberal Party are John Howard and Andrew Peacock. And my main concern is to ensure that they, like other members of the party, feel that they can work together in a wholehearted way.
But do you believe that there's, in terms of whether they could actually work together as leader and deputy, which many people would say has been the best combination in the past, do you believe there's too much water under the bridge for the two of them to really work together, whichever one is leader?
I think that's a matter for them to determine. What I'm satisfied, and I had a long talk with both of them this morning, I'm satisfied that they both understand how important they are as a pair of individuals to the future success of the party. I think they understand how important it is that they are able to work together, and I'm personally satisfied that they can do so. And I must say that's to me the central and most important fact. Over the last few days, that's been my greatest concern, are these two men who I think stand out among the rest of us as the premier figures in the party, the people that the public look to. Are they able to give that sort of common effort that I think the public wants? And my answer to that question is yes. I think they both are capable of working together in a very effective way, and I personally am looking forward to working with both of them in this next Parliament.
Senator Hill, Paul Keating's made the observation on the program that, like a souffle, Andrew Peacock can't rise twice. You've been a Peacock man in the past. Do you believe he can?
Well, I'm not a support of any particular personality. I'm in this business for promoting the ideals of liberalism, but do I think that Andrew Peacock's got a major role to play in the future? And my answer would be yes. He has strong community support. He's a real professional. He does the job well, and I look forward to him playing a very significant role in the future Liberal Party politics and in the task of winning the next election and finally getting the Liberal Party back into power.
Well, very briefly, can I assume that both of you would be of the view that the very worst thing that could happen to the party is for either John Howard or Andrew Peacock to win narrowly, and there is still some chance that that might happen. Now, what do you do in that circumstance?
I don't see that as being the problem at all. I think that the key thing for the Liberal Party and for its future is that whatever the outcome, that there is a wholehearted acceptance of that outcome by all of us and a preparedness to give of our best. I think we've got a ton of talent in the Liberal Party. I think we need to harness all of that talent to ensure that we do succeed, as Robert Hill has outlined we want to. And as far as I'm concerned, that involves using the talents of both John Howard and Andrew Peacock. I think they are the key figures, and I'm looking forward to seeing them making a major contribution to our success at the next election.
And we're out of time there, I'm sorry. Senator Chaney, Senator Hill, thanks for taking part.
Thanks, Kerry.
Well, regardless of what other factors might have contributed to John Howard's defeat, one man who's well and truly on the nose throughout most of the Conservative camp is the Queensland Premier Sir Joe Bjelke-Petersen. Far from saving Australia from the socialist evil of Bob Hawke, Sir Joe now has to face the humiliating fact that his own party actually lost ground in this election. Yet the Nationals picked up their vote in the rest of the country. The biggest swing against Labor was in New South Wales, but the biggest to Labor was in Queensland. The failure of the Joe push for Canberra has implications not just for Queensland, but for the rest of the country. On the line from Brisbane, National Party State Minister and generally colourful identity, Russ Hinze. Mr Hinze, now that it's all over, what on earth was the Joe push all about?
Oh, it would take longer than one of your 6 to 10 minute sessions to really explain it in full. But the man seen himself as doing a job. He believed in his capacity as extremely capable Premier of Queensland that he could do the job. Now, of course, you know and I know that time ran out. The Prime Minister brought forward the election. That was his right. Nobody can complain about that.
But surely the Joe for PM idea was never on. A fantasy?
Not a fantasy.
Joe for PM?
Definitely.
You believed that that was possible?
I know it was. I know it was on. I know it was going along very well in the very early stages, but things went astray. Now, they went astray very quickly.
In the sense that that the vote went badly in Queensland, it certainly has backfired. I mean, it's been acknowledged that that the Joe factor was the factor that in fact cost you votes in the end in Queensland.
Well, let's say that first of all, the Premier himself decided that time was not permit for him to proceed to try to get the numbers of candidates that he wanted, funds that had been promised, and substantial funds. It would appear that they were not forthcoming. there was a whole number of factors. But look, I don't think that you and I should waste time trying to analyse what went wrong. The facts are now, as you were saying here, that you're blaming Sir Joe and saying that, I forget the phraseology that you just used just now, but no, we've had our cabinet meeting this morning. We're like during the war years, you know, that you successfully retreat to prepared positions and start again. We've got another election coming up in 3 years' time.
Was there any discussion in cabinet this morning about the implications of the federal vote?
Of course there was.
For your state? Well, how do you think?
Well, I think that what we do, of course, is a very strong government that we have in Queensland, that we'll just be able to recover from this this mishap over the last couple of days and come back stronger than ever.
But it's not just that, is it?
There was a lot of lessons learned out of this election. You know,
well, it was one lesson learnt that you've cost John Howard government in Canberra and in effect split the Conservative vote.
No, well, the Premier didn't actually cost John Howard the election. There was a whole number of factors.
But surely you must concede that the fact that Sir Joe caused the split in the coalition cost John Howard dearly.
Well, let's say that after the event, you're able to say that.
Well, John Howard said it before the event, Ian Sinclair said it before the event, and in fact that's what happened.
Yeah, well, I think that it's not much use blaming one another now. I think that from the non-socialist vote throughout Australia now, that all of these chaps have got to make sure that they're going to do the things that the Australian electorate wants, and that is they have to understand one another, that you can't fight in public. That's just not on. Well, and that caused the result.
Moving on and looking at the future now, will Sir Joe hang on until after Expo and then retire, and do you think that that's what he should do?
Well, it's purely for the Premier himself to decide what he wishes to do, but it's not a matter of hanging on. He was elected with a very big vote in Queensland.
It's also a question of what the party thinking is too, surely.
Well, I wouldn't believe that the party's going to take any serious steps in regard to Joe's future. I think you'll find that if and when the man himself decides to step down, that's purely his prerogative, but there'll be no attempt to do it or make any, there won't be any challenges or anything like that.
Well, the most likely time would seem to be after Expo.
Well,
will health prevent you from running at that time?
Oh, I think that I've got to the stage of believing that I've had my run. I doubt whether in another 12 months that I'd be inclined.
And I wonder if you're prepared to say who you'd be backing for the premiership in that event.
I'd be going for a young man. I think that...
Mike Ahern.
Well, Mike Ahern and a few others. There's a few other young fellows in there, but at this stage, yes, Mike Ahern.
Not Bill Gunn.
Oh, Bill's the same age as me. What I mean, we've both got one foot in the grave.
Thanks very much, Mr. Hinze. That's it for Four Corners this week. Andrew Ollie will be back next week. Until then, good night.